4 years ago, I was at the Annapolis Boat Show, and there was a boat there that really caught my eye. It was unlike any other boat in that it was fairly sparse on the outside, and you could just tell it was made for blue water. So I went up at the end of the show, and I talked with the owner of that boat, and I said, hey, this is my favorite boat here. We got to talking, and we were talking about Easter Island and Isla del Coco, and we just kind of struck a relationship. And I told him, if you need a delivery captain, let me know. Well, he didn't need a delivery captain. He needed somebody to help him commission these boats. And commissioning basically is you take it from the factory, it's all wrapped in plastic, it goes on a container ship. We get it off the container ship, we put the mast on it, we wire everything, we check everything, we hand it over to the owner. So I said, sure, I'll try it. And this is the second one that we're doing. This is a beautiful boat. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, blue water boat in the world. It's called a Bluewater 56, and we're gonna go through how a commissioning works on a new boat, okay? From the perspective of the tech on the boat that's commissioning the boat. So it'll be cool, it'll be a unique perspective, see how everything goes, see what problems rise up, see how we fix them. So this is gonna be a really cool video. You guys are in luck. We're gonna do a tour of this beautiful girl at the end of the video. If you wanna get to that, you can go ahead and just skip to that chapter. But if you'd like to see how we turn this thing on and find all the problems and work out the bugs, stay tuned.
Right into the back of a truck, to the boat. That is impressive. While it looks like this is some industrial area, I'm actually on a boat on the water. This is a cargo ship, if you've never seen one before, and this is how they ship boats. They put a cradle, they weld the cradle to the ship, and then they strap the boats in. And this boat, we are going to take off the boat today, put it in the water, and put the mast on it and commission it. And I'm gonna show you guys how that works. First, we need to cut all this plastic off because this is the plastic wrap they put on to protect the boat. There's a lot of dust and dirt and debris and smoke, and it's dirty. So they have to put this wrap on it to protect the boat because it's brand new. This is a Bluewater 56. It came from China. Nice and bright, white. This is how I would order mine. Gray, non-skid with a white boat. That's the minimal amount of heat you're gonna get into your boat. This is a good looking boat, man. Beautiful. I wanted to show you guys kind of how the cradle system works because on this ship, you can see there's a bunch of boats. There was 27 boats. And basically what they do is they just take these cradles and they weld in stoppers. So this is the cradle that comes from the factory. They'll fiberglass onto these joints and they'll make these perfect cradles to cradle the hull. And then that's on a steel beam. And then that steel beam gets on the boat. And then the welders actually weld right onto the deck of the boat. And then when they go to take this off, they'll just cut that weld. So that is the reason that you have to have the boat wrapped, because as the other boats are coming off and as they're changing things around, they're cutting off all these pieces that were once welded on. This is a super messy job shipping a boat. So if you ever do plan on shipping your boat, remember that. Okay, boys and girls, we are getting ready to be lifted off of this thing. I don't know if you can see the big ass crane behind me. So this is the crane from the boat. This is the cradle we're in. They're gonna pick us off and they're gonna put us in the water. Man, they are not messing around here, dude. So while we're up there, these guys are cutting off all these things. This is just freshly cut. You can see him cutting over here. He's cutting out with a plasma torch right now. Oh my gosh, look how close it is to the other boats. I am a little nervous, this thing going over my head. That is so crazy. These guys got us here. These guys got us here. We're swaying a lot in the wind. This is crazy, dude. This will never not be cool. This is like the ultimate big boy toy. Yeah, we're coming down. We're in the water now. And first thing you do whenever you put a boat in the water, even a brand new one, is you check the bilge to make sure it's not filling up with water. I don't see a drop of water. Well, a little, like a drop, but it's not filling up. See that? Okay, now we're gonna start the engines. We've seen that there's no water ingress into the boat. And when we start the engines, anytime you start an engine on your boat, you wanna go back to the back and make sure there's water coming out of it. This is every single time. I got water coming out, I got cooling water. Yeah, let's get the lines out of the water right here, this one. Brand new pretty bow lines. Oh no. And then you can flip the fenders in. Perfect. We're probably gonna have to take 2 fenders and be roving fenders just in case he can't drive. I mean, there's a ton of room, man. We got like half a boat's length between us, but just in case.
Okay, lines on top.
Nicely done. Thank you, guys. Yeah, keep going. You got it. We're all the way up. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So those came from the cradle. They'll send a diver down to get all that stuff. All right, let's go. We could be in Bahamas by like 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
Okay, so this is the Bluewater 56. This is a design by Herman Frères. He's a very famous designer. He's designed a lot of the Swans. And actually this hull design is the same design as the Swan 53. If you're familiar with that boat, that was one of his most winningest boats. If you're not a sailor, Swan is one of the best companies in the world they build. Super expensive, very nice boats. Okay, so what did you just say?
When we're doing the commissioning, when they show up, there are going to be at least a dozen problems, and if we do our job well, I mean, the owners will never know about a single one of them, right? That's a good commissioning.
So the trick to commissioning a boat is to hide all the problems. I just messing with you. So we have our first problem, and it's not really a big problem. This is a very technical boat. So it's got 10,000 watts of inverter. It's got over 2,000 amps of batteries at 24 volts. So for all you small boat sailors, that's like having 4,000 amps of batteries at 12 volts. And it's got a very sophisticated system for everything to talk to with each other. That's how all lithium systems are now. The batteries have their own little brains in them, and then they talk to a big brain, and then this brain is a different system than this brain, and everything has to align, right? So the yard didn't set the absorption voltage correctly. And this is what I just had to do. I had to open up everything, get the quattros open, connect a special dongle so my computer could talk to it, and I had to reset the actual voltage setting where it switches from bulk to absorption. And the reason I did that is because we came in and we tested the generator. So this boat has a Kohler generator, very nice Cummins diesel. I love Cummins engines. And it's got an MG system. So you can see the MG system here, and you can see on the MG system that we've got battery over voltage detected, okay? That's because when we started the generator, this system sensed the generator and said, okay, cool, your generator is running. This is the shore power. We're gonna switch it to the generator. And what happened was the generator put so much power into the boat that the chargers down here decided we're just gonna flood these batteries with power, and the batteries were already almost full, and it overloaded one of the cells in the batteries, and that system, that little brain in that system, shut them off. All right, that's a really long way to say that this is like a fail-safe for lithium, so it doesn't run away, and you have to have all these things. I hooked up my computer and I said, hey, let's lower the voltage that it needs to be in absorption. That way it doesn't go into bulk and give 100% of the charge right away when the batteries are at 99%. And basically what that does is it's putting the landing gear down early on the plane, you know, and letting it kind of coast into 100% instead of giving it 100% of what the chargers are capable of until the batteries are at 99% and then shutting it off. It's going to be easier for the batteries. It's going to make them last longer because they're not working so hard, and it'll be safer. So the thing is, we need to see if it works, and we're going to find out right now because we're going to turn the generator on and do the same thing we did when we had that failure. So in Utopia, which we're in because we're in a Bluewater 56, we should be able to push this button, start the thing. Generator just started. Generator's in here. You can barely hear it. It's really nice. There's the Kohler generator. This is what just happened. The grid got disconnected. The generator is now powering the batteries, and the batteries are in absorption. We're good to go. Okay, so now it's the final test of the boat. We're gonna turn on the generator, and theoretically what should happen is the generator should come on, the inverters here should sense the generator, they should go into bulk, and then the ACs should just keep running. There should be no interruption of service there. And then as soon as we get to 27.6 volts, it should go into absorption, no problems. That is best case scenario here. We had to throttle down the inverters a little bit because it was putting too much power into the chargers. So here we go. They just kicked up into high gear. We've got 3 ACs in high gear. It's almost 3,000 watts right now. The generator that we have is a 9,000 watt generator. So we're using about a third of the generator for the AC units. I throttled them down to 100 amps a piece. So 200 amps times 24 is 4,800 watts plus 3,000. So we should be using like right around 8,000 watts. Should be fine. The generator should cover it, no problem. This is a cool boat because we've got 2 different ways to measure this. This is from the actual batteries. It's saying that the AC loads are about 3,100. And this one says that the entire system's power is about 3,285, which makes sense because we have some lights on and we have this DC to DC converter that's charging the starting battery, although the starting battery is already charged. Let's start the generator and see what happens. This is probably super boring for most people, but the boat nerds will love it. Okay, generator's on. That is super fast. This should say generating in a second. Now, your bulk charging. This is a Victron screen. It uses a little servo brain in the back. That's the servo brain. That little brain connects all the Victron stuff together and then shoots it out on this screen so you can see what's happening with your Victron system. And basically what we were seeing was the digital representation of what's happening here with the chargers and the inverters. So you can see it here too. The inverter is off because all of the AC power is now coming from the generator, and the main is on and it's in bulk. And this one too is also in bulk. And these lights let you know that it's talking to this one. It's the slave unit for this one. Okay, now we're just waiting for this voltage to get up to 27.6. And then we're gonna be able to see if that does get up there and it's already switched. Cool. So it already got up to 27.6. It switched to absorption. That went down a little bit. The entire voltage dropped to 27.4, which is fine. And then now it'll just ramp up real slow and charge the batteries to 100% slowly. That is freaking awesome. That's the first time that's worked. Beautiful. That's exactly what should happen. And the crazy thing is all 3 ACs are running full steam ahead right now. So that's exactly what we want. We want easy, push button, push the start, charge the batteries, good to go. Okay, boat's done. It's all unwrapped. The mast is over here on the dock, and they want us to move the boat from this slip over to that slip so the crane can come in and put the mast on the boat, which would be really cool for you guys to see. We got to get the shore power off, put it back in the boat, and then we'll cast off the lines and we'll get out of here. There's stern and bow thrusters. It's like a little tunnel underneath the boat with a propeller in it, and there's one in the back and there's one in the front. The back one just slips down and then comes back up, but the front one's just a hole in the hull. Pretty cool. That makes it easy to drive. Problem is you get complacent if you have that. You start to have it, you know? Okay, this is a brand new Seldon mast. If you've never seen a mast on the deck, this is gonna be a really cool feature of this video for you. This is the mast base. This is the extrusion, clutches. These will be the lowers. There's 2 sets of lowers on this boat, one in the front and one in the back. This is for the spinnaker pole. This is the light. So you got a down light and a forward light. This is called the steaming light. For when you're running on engine, you gotta have this light on. It lets everybody know that you're running on engine. Radar. Now this is the splice of the mast right here. So this is kind of cool. When they make these, they cut the pieces of extrusion so they'll fit in a container, like a 40-foot container. And then they splice them together with a sleeve inside it. So it's got a sleeve that just barely fits inside it. It's the exact interior dimension of this. And then they drill and tap it with a machine. And then when you put it all together, you use a little bit of Tef gel to keep the stainless steel and the aluminum from corroding. And that's how most masts go together. Even on an ML, you don't see that because they weld it shut and then they ferret and paint it, but it is still spliced. Almost every mast is spliced. Upper spreaders, a lot of the new boats are getting spreader lights on all the spreaders because it looks really pretty when they're pointed up. So this is the top of the mast, this is the bottom of the mast. So you can see there's 3 spreaders and there's spreader lights on each one. That's set there, and that comes from the factory. These guys wire this in the factory the riggers come and they connect this piece, and then they put the tie wrap on it, and they put this heat shrink on it. This is really good work. It looks really nice. So the way that this one works, it's got a cup in here. So this piece of standing rigging goes up to the corner here, and then that's the one piece, and then this is one piece, and then that's one piece. So they're all different pieces. Instead of being one long piece of wire, it ends here, and it ends in the spreader ends. It's kind of neat. And then they have to tie them all up so they're not draping across the boat and draping across the ground and messing everything up. And then when they're ready, they'll have a crane come in and grab it in the middle. They'll use some lines to control it, pick it up, turn it up top side, and then take it over to the boat and drop it on the boat. So the plan is you're going to cut this and then open it up and then put that on it and
Right.
put it all on right now. That's a hell of a way to do it.
Made life easier.
Yeah.
Make this that goes in between the strands,
Yep.
and then it crushes it, just forms the wire just enough.
Boom.
Someone did the math and it's strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, boys and girls, you're looking at a Bluewater 56. This is hull number 9. Big old huge Maxwell winch, double bow rollers. They just put the mast on the boat, so we've got the mast and we've got the shrouds, but as you can see, they're not tight. Like it's a little loose, the rigging. So the shrouds are holding it up, and then they have temporary backstay, temporary forestays. The owner of this boat is named Roger. He's a nice guy. He's decided to do some different stuff than the last one that I showed you guys. He's not put. I'm getting old. The most striking difference is it's non-skid. There's no flexi teak on the outside of the boat, which I think is a very classy thing for this type of boat. It'll be cooler, it'll be easier to clean, it'll be a hell of a lot less maintenance, and I like it. The color's good, it's not too dark. And then you put teak on the back, you put teak on the inside, but nothing on the deck. I like it. I think it's a great option. Big old Antal winches, these are huge winches. I mean, look at that. This is the difference between the Hilus 56 and the Bluewater 56 is this window, and the whole cabin top has been redesigned. This one is a little different than the last one. It's also a cutter, so it's got a staysail. This will have a furler on it. But this one, if you remember the last time, they had seats right here. They had seats. This one has a seat in the front, just one seat. So huge sail locker. Probably remember that from the last time I did this. Everything's looking good. Everything has channels to drain. You see those little channels? They drain out here. So that's nice. Beautiful boat. This one has lifelines on it instead of solid. If it were my boat, I would have done solid, but I can see why you do the lifelines. It's just kind of a more yachty type look. It's just as safe. They're still the same height. These are very high lifelines. Like look, they're hitting me at the waist. And yeah, I like it. I don't hate it. Like there's a Leopard 46 going out, a new one. Moorings. Let's see. These are all stay-lock fittings down here. Beautiful. Look at that size of that stay-lock fitting, dude. That's crazy. Everything's stainless. There's no teak out here. It's all stainless. Grab rails, which I very much like. Less maintenance. It's got a really nice hardtop. This hardtop has, this is 3-inch and 2-inch stainless. Very, very good welds. You see these welds? This is the kind of stuff you get when you build this thing inside. If you build it outside, you're never going to get welds like this because it's going to sputter, the wind's going to come up, it's going to blow the argon off, and it's going to sputter. And I mean, look at the welding. The welding is insane on this boat. It is so freaking good. It's some of the best stainless steel welding I've ever seen. And matter of fact, if this was my boat, I would have that yard build me a complete stainless steel arch for the back. No question. Because the thing about it is that you don't know is when you have those little holes and sputtering and stuff, rust starts. So if you can get something perfectly done indoors like this, it's not going to rust as much as any other stainless will. Okay, so cockpit Beautiful cockpit. Yeah, it's got new electronics and stuff. This I don't love. This is electric. I don't love that, but whatever. We'll see the rest later. Let's go inside and see this boat. Okay, everybody say hi to Kyle. Hi, Kyle. It's the owner of Bluewater. Nav desk. The cool part, one of the coolest parts about this boat is they decided to leave this area open. So a lot of boats still have this closed off, and it makes the boat feel a lot smaller. You can be working here, and then your partner can be cooking. There can be guests over here, and you all can talk to each other. You know, I spend a lot of time in this little hole right here, so anything that opens that up is nice in my boat. That's one of my favorite parts of this boat. So the owner decided to put wood up here. He did the same vinyl paneling on top, which I actually really like. This stuff is like indestructible. You can hit it with a hammer. Teak surrounds for the hatches. It's recessed lighting, just like all the rest of the boats. I really like the floor in this one, actually. You know, I'm a traditionalist sailor. I really like teak and holly floor, but I don't usually like the hardwood. But these guys bookend matched all the wood. You see how all the grain is matched with all the. It just looks nice. He went with Orion with big fiddles, pretty big fiddles. I like that. That's always good. Just in case you have a drink that spills or something, a lot of the time it'll catch it. Fiddle is this piece here, if you don't know. Lots of counter space in this boat. This is kind of one of the biggest selling points of the 56. Really good access for the engine. 150 Yanmar fuel polishing system. Kohler generator that's pretty quiet. Nice setup. Mast just went in this morning, so that's why we have all this trashed. This is a double bunk version. So he got the fixed double bunks, which, you know, I actually really do like. I mean, I think the more articulating things on your boat, the more it's going to break. So having things that are fixed to the wall, I do like that. And for charter, if you're going to sell this to a charter company, this would be a perfect boat. V-berth, you open it up and there's your washing machine and your, I don't know if you can see back there, but the water maker's back there. One cool thing about these boats is they're all lined with cedar inside. So this cabinet smells so friggin' good, dude. I wish I had smell-o-vision. I love that smell. I want my whole boat made out of that. Oh, it smells good. There's the start battery here. There's two big house batteries here. There's two big house batteries here. There's two Quattro 5000s in here. The electrical system on this boat is no joke. We'll do another whole video about that. Lots of room. You can put a coffee machine in here. There's tons of room under here. This opens up into this entire space, so you can store, you know, children or whatever you want. 4 fridges for all you fridge lovers. These 2 are fridges, these 2 are freezers. We didn't realize which was which. Big stove, you can either get induction or, as this boat did, flameage. And then here's where the magic happens. And you know, I really do like this walk-around bed because it's not a full walk-around. There's a little bit of space that you can put your back against. And there's an ensuite head in here. And the signature Bluewater mermaids. Yeah, here's the mermaid. Mosaic. You can get turtles, you can get mermaids. They'll do actually whatever you want. He went with teak and white oak as a lighter interior wood. It looks really nice. I think this boat looks really classy. Not too over the top. Not too opulent, no weird colors. I'm impressed. I love it. I really do like these boats, dude.
And it's actually gone so well. The yard is really.
Yeah, the yard.
We've gone through one step at a time. When we switched over with it, I've said this many times. I was really apprehensive to switch over to it. This is now, I think, the 5th boat. It's second and third you worked on, and it's just they've taken each step at a time to get to this point. This one, they finally got to the last stage. Top to bottom, we've literally just a few electrical adjustments. We still have a few more, but I mean, literally, we haven't really worked.
This is why you get boat number 9 and not number 1.
You know, the number 1's always actually the number 1 was AGM, and those always do well.
Oh yeah, that's
so.
So anyway, yeah,
It's been good. It's been good.